hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you are lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and it's that time of the week again. It's Subs Replay Sunday. Today I actually got the titles right. This is Subs Replay. No, my God, I did it wrong. This is Subs Replay Saturday. Oh, I'm trying to confuse the world. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, last week I did Subs Replay Saturday and used the titles for Subs Replay Sunday. And then vice versa, I did Subs Replay Sunday and used the titles for Subs Replay Sunday. I struggle with all the days of the week that end in a Y. But onwards and upwards. This is Blarch. We're going to get reviews and replays from Blarch, Carponen _ Timu93, and a young fellow by the name of Demon Rage. I actually have two videos in here from Demon because I basically stockpiled all the videos, and thank you very much for sending in videos. bushkawonking at gmail.com is where you can send your replays, and I downloaded a whole bunch of replays and then started editing them and getting a common theme together, and it just so happened that two of them were for Demon, and I didn't realize this at the time. But I've done all the editing and all the tickling and fiddling, so I thought I'd use them anyway. Today, we're just going to be looking at a few Tier 8 games, no Tier 10s, and we have an M6 game in here that I had to include because it was pretty awesome. This is Blarch's moment to shine. There is an IS-8 and an IS-6 there who have seen a one-shot RU-251 and decided that bugger the rest of the team, bugger trying to win the game, bugger the fact that there's now 3 greens up top on 2 Tier 8 reds, we're going to roll around and smash this RU. Surely he can't evade us. Yeah, FKU noob, says the IS-3 defender, just because Blarch had the temerity to actually shoot him. And he's now going to get called a coward because every time someone dies to someone else, that someone else has to be devoid of any bravery or positive human emotion. The IS-8 and IS-6 have driven the entire map chasing a 1 kill, and Blarch turns up and says, "Hello boys, how do you like them apples? Have an uppercut for all your troubles." Really silly stuff there from the IS-6. Listen to him still losing the RU. Oh, it's gold. You've got to love when people absolutely play like lunatics and then blame the world. Here goes my man Carponen _ Timu93, or as he shall henceforth be referred to, the great fish god. Carpo, the carp, carpe diem, and he certainly does seize the day here today. That's a carp, that is not what the actual young man looks like. The actual young man is from Finland, and he's a member of the MK clan, Molotov Cocktail. He's in the RU-251 there. I popped on a little bit of light love music in the background for this little run at Fort Despair because there was actually no sound in the game. This is a much more orthodox RU-251 game, and I find it very impressive whenever you have a good game over here in the RU on Fort Despair or any really light tank, because there is such a fine margin of error. You've really got to judge things well and use the pace, the speed, and the mobility of the tank. Otherwise, you end up getting stuck in situations where you can get shots from lots of different tanks and really get wrecked. And you can see the big carp is doing the business there. It takes out 5 sec in the T-34 85 Rudy. And as the saxophones do their thing, jazz style, the carp motors onwards and upwards. That's right, he's looking for a backdoor bonanza, and he's going to find one here as all the boys that have gone down the right flank and are focused in on that Type 62 are missing out on a bit of carp love. He switches up to the high explosive, the plastic shells on the RU-251 that have that lovely dose of alpha. 295 average alpha, I believe, or 285. Much better than the standard rounds that you find in the RU. And the red team, though, have snapped to the fact that there is, in fact, a great big fish behind them, gobbling, and have moved back to take advantage of his poor armor. But the carp's having none of it. He's not exposing himself. He's an RU-251. He knows what he's got to do. He's in a very, very poor tank for a tight-knit map like this, but he will not be denied. He was denied there just a little bit because he put a round into the ground. Now, this Carnarvon's done the right thing. He's taken the big damage. He's pumping out the love. and he's letting Caponen do the business. Here he comes around into this VK, gets a nice shot in there using the AP rounds, backing it up. Look at the RU absolutely do the nut. It goes so quickly. It's got such a great mobile chassis, as the Americans like to say, that it can escape all but the fastest of tanks. And that T-34 Independence, the clown car made true tank, is not going to catch him. Cost a lot. It's gone. Cost more than it probably should. Is gone. He's loving the HE. He puts a big HE round in the back of the IS. He's going to get another one in there. Where's that T-34? He's hiding. You can't catch the carp. The fish god will not be denied. And he's rolling towards Cap. I love that about the carp. He never makes an easy target. And look at him. He's just sneaking down. The T-43 has 20 hit points. The carp has 63 left. There's plenty of tank left to get through there, and he does so. Nuts, the T-34. The Croata takes out the 43, but that's the wrong target. Everyone knows that a fish god is the man you got to get stuck into. The carp is still unspotted. 248 meters is not close enough, and he finishes him. 5 kills. Love a Radley Walters. Don't mind if I do. Very, very small map for a very, very light, fast tank. But still an impressive game all the same. 4,005 damage for the big carp. Mastery badge, high caliber, top gun. Radley Walters loves it. We're going to have a look now at our next contestant on The Price is Right. And he is driving the T-34. Now, this is our man, Demon Rage, I think his name is. You're going to see anyway, because he's going to kill a few people here. T-34 hasn't featured before on the subs replays, so I'm very, very happy to whack him up on this one. Now, this is an ABC cap scenario on Canyon. Now, this is probably the most important cap on the map because it is the hardest to actually cap. So, if the enemy is able to cap this one, it's quite easy to cap a C or an A and then defend this cap. And you can see it's very hotly contested. That Helsing would love to get involved, but none of these three turkeys on the other side of the cap circle have the gun depression to trouble the big demon. He is, however, got a head like a racing tadpole. So he's in real strife, and he's got he moves that panther off, points the gun at him, shakes the nasty stick and says, "Hey, buddy, if you don't bugger off, you're going to cop one in no uncertain terms." And the panther backs right off. So they've capped B and they've capped C, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Now cap B is hotly contested. They can't get it back very easily because there's guns to either side. There's guns in front. The Panther's taken his eye off the ball, and the Demon makes him pay the price. To have the temerity to ignore the Demon, that's just silliness. Everyone knows it. That IS-3, he's pushing around. There's an IS. The Demon's now going to have to rely on a little bit of love from his teammates. He's got to make a decision. He's either going to pump down to the left or stay here. He may take a shot moving down to the left, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. And what he's doing right now is actually the best move. He's going to put himself in the edge of the cap circle. So he's going to cap because they are well behind on points. And he is also going to be able to get shots into the sides of both these IS-3s. Now, one of the IS-3s is very, very low. He's locked in. He's loaded. Bang. Does the business. Demon Razgriz. That's the name. Demon Razgriz 15. How could I have forgotten that one? And his good mate and longtime AT-15 companion, the Rain King, is also there. Demon makes a great little decision here. Look at this, boys and girls. This is an IS. It's got its back to him. He could easily just take that shot, but he decides that a Borsig is definitely more important, and he is absolutely right. A little bit unlucky with the HE round there, knocking into a bit of track, and the track module eats some of that splash damage and saves the Borsig from an ignominious 500 alpha damage roll. Doesn't save him for long, though, because the Borsig eats an AP right to the face, and it's onwards and upwards for our heroes of the moment. Now, with a head bigger than a racing tadpole and more armor than you can shake a stick at, the T-34 is really suited for situations like this, and it doesn't get much easier. There are two targets to go. They're both in front of him. They are both on the other side of this hill. He's got gun depression, and this fantastic turret arm is going to lean over the edge, whack one into the driver's hatch, and pull back. The poor old driver in the IS6 takes more punishment than any other human in World of Tanks Blitz. Now, the team in orange or Sundance yellow, if you're right into your interior design, the Rain King and Demon Raz are being pushed upon quite severely here. Now, the big demon's been saving the hit points for just such an occasion. He says, hello IS6, I was expecting to meet up with you sooner or later. I've been saving the hit points for you. Let's trade a few blows and see who comes out on top. Now, that IS is not playing fair. He's shooting him as well at the same time. If these guys had been in Blarch's game, they would have been called cowards for ganging up on one tank on their own. But the demon doesn't need much help. That IS should have put a HE round into the back door, but with the fantastic jinking skills that come with being a T-34 monster, that is not a problem. And there we go. He finishes it off with another Radley Walters. It's raining Radley Walters here at Bushka on Blitz, and that was certainly a fine game. And indeed, it is also raining the Golden M's. And I'm not talking about Mickey D's or a drive-through Happy Meal. I'm talking about the Golden M's, the high calibers, the Mastery. And that's what the T-34 gets there on Canyon. Final game. And again, it is our good mate, Demon Razgriz, who is going to be gracing us with his skills and his presence. And we're moving down a few tiers here. And it's actually quite funny because this is the M6. Now, I just reviewed the M6. I love a little bit of M6 action. And that's exactly what we're going to get here on Temple. Now, like all good M6 drivers, he understands that the key to a happy experience on Temple is getting up early, ugly, and often in the faces of the Reds, and doing it via the steps. We fight for hills, not holes, here at Bushka on Blitz, and that's exactly what the Demon's doing. He's turning hard left here, and he's going to use his gun depression and his little bit of love, i.e. armor, hit points, all those kind of things, and say, okay, boys, give me your best. And he takes a whole heap of shots and then decides to start returning serve. And that's exactly what he does. The T-150 eats another bucket of Razgriz. The Leopard over there is absolutely kidding himself. I love Leopards as much as the next man, but he's got 95 millimeters of penetration, and he's coming out sideways versus a 90 millimeter gun. All this is going to do is result in a very, very unhappy Leopard that's got a lot more holes in it at the end of the game than it started with. And you can see there, though, he does manage to cannibalise his good mate in the other Leopard before being taken out. Now, the Reds have put their happy pants on, and they are going to push. Unfortunately for them, the big demon is in a fantastic spot here. You can see, despite his fat tank, he is hull down for the most part, and he's pulling back. That T-150, if he put on some angry pants, he would cause all kinds of issues, but he's not going to do it. He's ignoring the Raz, and he's letting the Raz sedately pull backwards here, hide his lower glacis and everything from the guys on the left, and just take on one tank at a time. And he's taking on the VK-2801, the Bewilder Beast, an absolute monster. But he is being surrounded. He's got such skills, though, he can even bounce things with his ass, and that's exactly what he does there. Misses a shot on the Churchill, probably rushing it a little bit because he is, let's be honest, in an absolutely horrible predicament. There is someone on his team who's having a sightseeing tour down in the swamps area in a medium and has yet to involve himself in the tete-a-tete up here around the temple. There are an awful lot of Reds. They've only lost one. We've lost three. It's time to put the big 90mm to work, and that's exactly what the Raz does here. It's now 6-on-3. Things looking grim, but on the plus side, that VK-28 is not driving with the top gun. In fact, he is driving with the derp gun, and that means that he is absolutely going to get hashtag rebalanced if he pushes up on this man here. Oh, hello! It's another Leopard. If only he'd come out sideways and try and pen the front of a Tier 6 heavy tank, we might be able to do some love. And guess what? That's exactly what he's going to do. Hello! Thank you. Luckily, he only gets away with a tracking, but again, instead of driving around the back and actually giving the Raz a bit of a touch-up, he is just sitting there in front of him, waiting to get hashtag rebalanced. And there we go. He gets lucky again. It's like a dangerous dance to the death where they're going to touch each other on the tracks until one of them says, no more please, I need a lawyer. And he's done it the third time, and the third time is unlucky. The third time is definitely most unlucky because the Leopard has just copped a serve of justice right to the noggin. There are 5 tanks left, and there is only one Demon Raz, and he has only got 572 hit points left. But the Leopard will simply not give up. He is going to penetrate the front of this tank come hell or high water. Well, come hell, because that's exactly where he is going now for indifferent tanking play. The Raz is in a lot better position than he was a couple of seconds ago when it was 5-on-1. It's now 3-on-1, and all he needs to do is simply have a Kolomanov. He's lost a couple of hit points, and he's missed a golden opportunity to take down that Tier 6 T-3485. But he's angling up like a champ. Look at that. He gets one straight through the track. Stay there while I have a big think about things, boys and girls. He's angling up again. I don't know where the other two are. Well, I do. One of them's in cap and being of no use to nobody. The other one is reading a book, thinking about his next off-Broadway hit musical. I can't tell you, to be honest. I don't know where he's going, but the Raz has found his HE shells, and he's going to give one to this T-3485. There is the T-34. He's decided now is probably the time to come in because his mates died, and he's been fair up until now. He's giving everyone an equal opportunity to have a one-on-one with Demon Raz. Everyone's been after a little bit of FaceTime with the Raz, and they've got it. Look at him guide that svelte machine through the carcasses of the fallen. There is someone capping. In case you're wondering where he is, Raz, he's capping. He's been capping for quite some time because obviously 3-on-1 were bad odds, and he knew that in event of an emergency, they would need to cap it out. And it's our good mate, the T-150, who didn't shoot the Raz when he was bigger than the Queen Mary side onto him in the first place. And the T-150 now is going to go ring-a-ring-a-rosy. Now, the Raz has got to be very careful here because the T-150 has 400 alpha damage on that gun, and he is certainly no pushover, and he misses a golden opportunity. The Raz knows now, this is fate, this is destiny. He is a big man and destined for bigger things, and you can't hold me back. And still he doesn't shoot him, which is a little bit perplexing because really the best way to win in this game is to shoot the other guy, but he doesn't do it. And YV_13, not sure what was going on there, mate, but hopefully things pick up for you in the near future. The Raz with a Tier 6, 4,580 damage game and with more bling than a man can possibly deserve. Let's run through the individual bling moments of the big Raz's game. The Mastery Badge, and bloody well, he should have a Mastery Badge because that is a hell of a lot of XP to experience. You can see there the Top Gun Award, and moving right along to the right, we have the 6 Kill Pools Award. Very, very upsetting for his team to not let him get the Rossini. I was disappointed. I'm sure he took him out to the dressing sheds after the match, gave him a couple of slaps around the face and says, next week at training, we're going to be doing fitness Tuesday and Thursday, and that's why, because you didn't let me get that 7th kill. Gets a steel wall, sniper badge, you know, Kolomanov, Confederate, all the kind of love that you should be getting in a top-notch Bushka on Blitz video performance. So that's it for Subs Replay Saturday. Stick around. Tomorrow there will be Subs Replay Sunday where I'm going to take you through the big boys. We're going to have a few games from a couple of good blokes who I know quite well. Mojo's going to be in there. Mojo72 from the Skux clan. I've got Unkindest or Slava. He's got his own bit of YouTube channel on. And this is, I'm breaking one of the rules of games not on other channels. But it's just an absolute cracker. And I really want you guys to see it. It's a crackerjack performance in the T110E4. 2 games there. We have a game in the Grill A15, and I think we might have another game. I'm not sure about that. Depends how I'm feeling, how the missus is feeling, if there is time under the sun. As always, this was a Patreon-sponsored post. If you would like to sponsor the channel, please do. There is a link at the start, or there's a link on all the videos. So just click on that one. That's what keeps the lights on around here, is Patreon and sponsorship. And if it wasn't for that, there would be absolutely zippo in terms of Blitzo. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Look after your families and stay safe on the battlefield.